Guys, today is a special edition. First of all, my sweet, sexy, and single friend Maura is here, and we're on a couch for the first time. And this is more like girl chat. Girls are over. We're having a mimosa. This is going to be just real good girl chat, catching up authentically, genuinely. And she's a badass. You really are.
Thank you.
Single mom to chopping it up in the commercial real estate brand firm, leadership role there. And yeah, I'm just excited to catch all of this on like camera. So let's take it back to move to Charlotte. I did in 2020. So I met you probably like 2022-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And I know those conversations, divorce was new. What am I going to do is new. You didn't finish school because you were a stay-at-home mom. So take me back to Maura then versus where you are now, because it was a lot of what am I going to do and how am I going to get there to be able to stay in where you are right now.
It really was. I remember one of the first times that I saw you at the neighborhood pool. Mm-hmm. You and a girlfriend of ours covered lunch for myself and my kids, because I did not know that was my concern. Like, yes, I would love to order food in, but I just can't swing it. And without missing a beat, you two were like, got it. And that's a much different situation than where I am now. When I first got separated, my kids and I were on SNAP benefits because I had been a stay-at-home mom without a job, 7 years almost out of the workforce. And at one point I worked 6 jobs. And then I was fortunate to get one job at Pine Lake Prep in Mooresville, which was an absolute dream. But it took 1,500 job applications to get me an interview. And that's just the count on Indeed. So my Indeed submissions only. So who knows how many I actually applied for. 1,500 jobs.
Okay.
Yep. Anything that I thought I was capable of, I threw my hat in the ring. And that job was such a blessing because, one, it got my kids into the school, which in itself has been just incredible for my boys, and introduced me to wonderful people, and it provided me stability. But schools, I think, don't pay their teachers enough. You can't, as a single person, really make a living and support your family in our school system, which is unfortunate because they have the most important job. Mm-hmm. So I had the opportunity.
God, demanding. Gosh.
It's so demanding.
Yeah.
Right?
And after-hour demands and creativity of grading paper, like stuff that's not on the clock. So you're carrying it home on top of or not able to survive or to have the basic needs for a 40-hour plus week.
Yes. And kids are sneezing directly into your eyeballs. So you're
Let alone pink
constantly.
Eye. It's just pink eye. Maura, what's going on? It's fine.
You're fine. Can't wear makeup for 6 weeks. Are you tired? Yeah. But 2 girlfriends of mine, Megan and Lauren, conspired behind my back a little bit because I didn't have my phone on me during the day while I was helping students and engaging, on campus. And they actually applied for a job as me, which I feel like I can say now because I've been there for 3 years, right? And the rest of the process was done by me directly.
Did they show up as you? Like, no, I'm kidding.
Well, Lauren had my resume just to help me, right? And she saw this job come through and instantly thought, I can't reach Maura. I know that she would be a good fit. So she just submitted it. And of course, electronically, it's no actual fraud or pretending to be me.
No. It's a good friend.
Right? Real good friends. But tell me you wouldn't do the same thing.
Oh, I absolutely would. And I'm like, did anybody do it for me? If you've seen the opportunity, just slide it on in there.
And that's every single woman in my life would do the same thing. Every single one, without fail. And 3 weeks later, I was in my second round of interviews, and less than a month after that, I had this job that seemed at the time completely unattainable, right? For all the reasons that you mentioned. I hadn't finished my bachelor's yet. I thought I would have time when I was a stay-at-home mom, but life certainly had other plans. And it opened doors for me that still now I think about, and I think this can't be my life. There is no way that, I bought a house when I was working at the school, and that seemed impossible. I, took my kids to Alaska. That seemed impossible. And I look at where we are now, and I'm fortunate enough that now I'm actively giving back on a regular basis instead of being the one who's receiving the aid. Right? And it's such a 180 that sometimes it keeps me up at night. Not that I feel I'm not deserving, which imposter syndrome and all of that always comes into our lives. But it just feels like it happened so quickly that it floors me in a way that I went from working 6 jobs and needing food stamps in 2018, 2019 to now, since I've joined the corporate world, I've received 3 promotions. I'm getting headhunted. And that just, it's hard to reconcile that that's the same life.
2 different lives, maybe same you, right?
Yeah. Maybe different me.
Well, different you. Definitely evolved you.
Same at the core.
Yeah. Core. Cheers for cores. I mean, how those moments of like not knowing what you were going to do and not knowing that JLL opportunities were ahead, what kept you literally just pushing, just putting the momentum and the energy out there? Obviously the boys, you know what I mean? Like knowing you were not going to allow yourself to fail with the boys, I'm sure was a huge momentum, but there's a lot of single women out there and a lot of single mothers or parents that it just seems impossible. And how quick and all of a sudden things can literally shift.
So suddenly. I'm going to back it up to my childhood for context.
Love it.
But I grew up in a very leave it to Beaver household. I was very fortunate to have incredible parents, a huge extended family on both my mother and father's side, a sister who has supported me through everything. And I don't think a lot of people have that. But I grew up with that. And then in my 20s, I was almost surprised that people could be something other than what they put out. And I ended up in an abusive relationship that I very much did not see coming. And despite any differences my ex-husband and I had during our marriage or have now, he was not abusive. And part of me stayed in the marriage because of that. Like, I've been in a horrible relationship, right? And I carried guilt about that for a while. I think a lot of us, especially if you grow up in a church environment, think marriage is forever no matter what. And it's very hard to understand that marriage is forever no matter what if both participants in the marriage are willing to move forward together. If only one person says, I'm not going in that direction, it's not going to work. And
it's a detriment to the whole entire marriage.
Exactly. And we were both rooted in different things. It's 2 people, right? But I think all of that informed how I carried myself. Because once it was me and my boys, it was all on me. And there were stressors I didn't know I was carrying just from past trauma or past life expectations. I thought that just like my parents, I would meet someone and 3 months later we'd be engaged And 6 months later, we'd be married. And now where they are now, 42 years into marriage, we'd be bickering at each other because the kids are out of the house and we're both retired and we're just going to argue about stacking the dishwasher wrong, right? That's truly what I thought my life would be like. And pivoting from that was difficult. And there are a lot of pivots. When I found myself in an abusive relationship, that was a pivot because I never had that context directly in my life that someone who supposedly loves you could harm you. And then my divorce was a pivot. And then being a single mom was just so much of understanding that it was only on me. And that is terrifying and very freeing. If I want to play with my kids and not do the dishes, no one's going to get mad that the sink is dirty. Right? I realized that the life I wanted was entirely up to me to create. And again, terrifying, but I found it completely freeing. So yes, my kids carried me through it because I want to do things to help them. We all do, right? And even if you're not a parent, you want to do things to help the people that you love and encourage them and help them grow. But once I realized that literally the world was my oyster, it completely shifted my mindset. And my friend's husband said to me a couple Thanksgivings ago that he admires, I guess, my ability to jump into things without fear of failure. I am terrified of failing. Terrified, right? I think it's scary to all of us. I just understand that so many of the hardest things I've been through have not knocked me down yet.
Is that what keeps you pushing for the next hard trial that you go through? Is if I've made it through this, then
what can't I do? And I can't take credit for all of this because a lot of it came through therapy.
Which is also vulnerable. Like
yes.
I think we all need therapy. We're all born with baggage we did not ask for.
Absolutely.
Into families with baggage that we did not have a say-so in.
Yes.
So the traumas that literally lives in our bodies as adults that we really lost access, either like generations of not talking about things or suppressing it, or what was normal. Abusive relationships, was a norm in the not too far back.
Exactly.
So having the vulnerability to go to therapy, even that for someone, like the growth that you've seen since doing that moment too.
Yeah.
Side note, just wow. I mean, I knew that, but like the vulnerable to say it. I'm not going to say stuff personal, like I know a lot about my guests, but I'm like, I'm only going to touch a surface and you go as deep as you want. But I know so many people that say, I don't need therapy. We don't need to go to therapy. I don't need it. The marriage don't need it. And I'm like, who needs to say no to just openly expressing traumas to try to figure them out?
Right.
And it's a very vulnerable thing. So thank you. That's all I'm saying. Cheers. I'm kidding.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. But yes.
It is, though.
So therapy helped you.
Mm-hmm. I think everyone should go to therapy. Can I take a side quest for a second?
Yeah.
Do you know the cartoon where, and I know I'm going to have to talk with my hands.
I know. Put it down, Maura.
You know the cartoon. I'm sure everyone has seen this on social media. And it's two figures pointing at a number. And one says, this is a 6. And the other says, this is a 9.
Is this like the blue and black dress?
It's kind of like the blue and black dress.
Okay.
But it's a cartoon of two people both pointing at a number. Like you're pointing at a 6, I'm pointing at a 9 because we're standing at opposite ends of it. And often,
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
just
seeing
saw
it, but now I'm seeing
You're
the
like
picture.
getting
Okay.
it. Yeah. Often, the commentary that comes along with that is that we need to respect other people's perspectives. And I understand the intent of saying that, right? Because in any situation, we all really come with our own lived experiences and anything we've learned along the way. And that informs, our position in the world, in this instance, physically standing and viewing a 6 or physically standing and viewing a 9. But in reality, if you look at that cartoon and you pan it out, somewhere there's an 8. Somewhere there's a 7 or a 10 or a 5. Maybe you turn around and realize a 5 is behind you. And you're like, see, I have context now. I know for sure this is a 6. Or maybe we look to the left and we see an 8 and say, I am correct because now I know it was a 9. Because in reality,
true positioning.
Yes. It's like finding your compass, right? Where's true north? Because our perspectives may be true for us and they may be good for guiding our personal decisions that only impact ourselves. But without that additional context, if I say, okay, I'm building on lot, 10, and you look and say, this is lot 6. There's a 5 behind me. There's a 7 behind you. This is lot 6. And I say, well, I'm building at lot 10, so I'm at the next lot. This is 9. I'm objectively wrong.
Right.
Even though to me it looks like a 9. And I think we do ourselves a disservice when we root ourselves only in our perspective without taking that wider view. And for me, that's what therapy was. Right? I could approach my marriage and my divorce and all the struggles that I was personally facing in a silo, only learning from my perspective and my experiences. Or I could say, how do I get a 1,000-foot view? How do I know if this is a 9? And therapy really provided that for me, right?
A zoom out.
Yeah.
A zoom out moment.
Exactly.
I mean, this is somebody's therapy right now that's, that would listen and realize like it's so easy to focus on just our situation and our problem and me, because we are very, that's the human experience. Like we go through things and they feel so incredibly big until you're through them. And then you look back and you're like,
there's nothing.
I got through that. I can get through this. But like until you really zoom out to be able to relate, that's a huge, huge perspective shift on everything.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. So boom, therapy, divorce happened. What do you feel like divorce taught who Maura used to be compared to who you are now?
Divorce taught me that my ego has no place in any of my personal relationships.
So
it doesn't.
Good.
It doesn't. And that's so hard for us, right?
Again, zoom in, zoom out. Yeah.
Yep.
Zoom in. Girl chat.
That can help your relationship also.
Actually help too.
But
yeah.
But it's true. Your ego does have a rightful place. And I'm not talking about, psychology and the ego and the id. I'm talking about the ego. Well, I guess I am, but not at that level.
Right.
But what we talk about as ego are the things that we really want, right? My wants and my needs and my desires cannot always be at the forefront in a relationship. And I really thought during my marriage that I was good about that, right? Looking back, I now know the things I could have improved. Whereas your ego is not entirely out of that. That really was driven by what you personally wanted rather than what would best benefit your family or your marriage, right? I, as a personality flaw, love being right. I think many of us do, right? I love to be correct.
I mean, who wants to fail and who wants to be wrong?
Nobody. No one.
I mean, yes, we can grow from those. So I I like to sometimes know that if I didn't do it right, then you learn to do it right. But
Yeah.
just to say, yeah, I want to fail or I want to be wrong doesn't really come out of people's mouths.
Right. Because no one wants to admit they don't know something.
Mm-hmm.
Or especially, I think as you approach middle age also, you want to think that you have enough lived experiences that you know how to go through life.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't. None of us do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's ridiculous for any of us to root ourselves in the idea that we do. But that's really what divorce taught me. That, not that I want to be wrong, but I try to consistently approach anything, whether it's a conversation about a relationship, a conversation about being a good leader at work, a conversation about politics or religion or anything heavy, from the perspective that I'm coming into it and I do not know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that is okay. And
would old Maura be like, this is what I think, this is right? Where now you're like, oh, yeah, again, you've widened out the lens.
Yes, that my perspective is not right just because it's my perspective. Exactly.
That's very humbling, because a lot of relationships are ruined or, exhausted because no one wants to say they're wrong. No one wants to admit, I'm male, you're female, or I'm older, you're younger, or I'm mother, you're daughter, or whatever.
Right.
There is such pride held in the egos of the human experience. And until we zoom out to allow that growth to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, freaking egos.
Mm-hmm. And we all have them.
Oh, we all have
I'm
them.
definitely going to fall into it again.
Oh,
I'm sure.
I think it's a daily practice that we all have to, no different than affirming or praying or meditating or having practices that are better. It doesn't mean they come easy. It doesn't mean that you don't fall trap of not doing them. It just means that you're intentional about knowing and doing when you're in the moments of knowing that you need to do them.
Exactly. I even have a sign on my desk for when I'm in meetings or on one-on-one calls that says, wait, why am I talking? And it's just my reminder that even in my professional life, I want to ensure that I'm not talking for the sake of talking or speaking about something because I feel I'm the authority and that I'm leaving room for other people to widen my perspective.
So good.
It's great. Everyone should have one.
A little sunshine?
Yeah.
It's just the sunshine.
It's a little sign. It says wait, WAIT, and underneath, why am I talking?
A sign that says, why am I talking? Yeah. That's good.
I like having a sun, though.
I thought it said sunshine, but then I think I just added some letters. I don't know.
That's okay.
It's fine.
I like it. I like that idea. That's marketing. Make little
We're going to make
sunshine.
Why are you talking?
Yeah. Why am I talking signs.
Don't look in the light.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that was my biggest takeaway. Is, especially in something as like divorce. It is so personal. It's so personal.
And it's deep and it's heavy and multiple people are involved.
Yes. And it impacts the people that you love the most in the whole entire world. And that is really what I took away from it, is like my need to be right is not serving anyone. It's not serving me.
So we go from Maura not knowing how we're getting pool snacks years ago to not knowing where the work or the income or the provision for the children or what was next as a single stay-at-home mom, to now officially divorced, to obviously not making much as a teacher before JLL or whatever, to now baby making more than the other
having to redo
the whole other portion, a
child support.
A whole new child support agreement. And this is not about financials, okay? I'm not. Right. I know that's great, and we all need those. And money is not the root of all evil. Get that scarcity mindset out of your mind and out of your speech. But I'm saying this because to go from a place where you did not know and to have an agreement to, wow, I got the house, wow, a new job opportunity, wow, now you're making more, where so much more than a whole nother agreement had to be created.
Right.
To me, like the perseverance and the belief to get from one end of the spectrum, literally all the way over to the other. And this spectrum was hard.
Mhm.
And so was that spectrum. I mean, courts and costs and fees and time and energy. But the perseverance, like you literally set out to do one thing. And now where you've grown is, it's remarkable, but it's like one of those things that I want people to truly, truly know that if you did it, if I did it, they can do it.
100%.
If it's dark and the divorce word is getting brought, just because back in the day, divorces, that's not terminology. You stick it out. I don't believe in that either. You know, I'm a spiritual person, but I think, you know, that the divorce word or the single parent word, and people are in such a dark, alone space.
Yeah.
And yet look at what was at the end of the tunnel,
Mhm.
because you had enough patience, enough grit to like do it, to try, to apply to 1,500 jobs. How many people out there need a job right now and you've not sent one interview or one resume or one application in, and you don't know why you don't have a job, and you sent 1,500 or more, but like on a day of that, I mean, just the effort of putting it out there to have it done, that gap is huge.
Well, I think a lot of it goes to that ego part, right? I don't care if I'm serving fries at McDonald's. I don't care if I'm cleaning toilets.
Mm-hmm.
No job is beneath me.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Baby, you know you're talking to the preacher.
I know.
Preacher to the choir. What is it?
This is
The
where we
choir's
are both. We are both seeing the same number
Yes.
on this issue.
Are we on 6 or 9? Are they both together? I don't know. I'm just kidding.
I don't think you are. Roy's gonna have a good time tonight. But
do you hear the squeaking every time we move?
Yes.
It's just making it all the fun.
It's very apropos
I
for
know.
the hand motions. Excuse me. I don't think anyone is less of a person or less of deserving than I am because of what they do or how they make their money or what kind of house they live in, what religion they practice, what language they speak. And part of that's because of my, Leave It to Beaver, Cleaver upbringing, where my father had us go to Emmaus House, which is part of the Catholic worker movement. So people take a vow of poverty and live in these homes and invite refugees and immigrants into these homes. And people would come, in the 90s, it was people from Ethiopia, people from Croatia who were fleeing conflict, right? People from the Middle East, the general Balkans. And they would have these like potlucks and story times and share their culture and share food. That's how I learned goat is the most consumed meat in the world. I did not know that.
Fun fact today, goat is the number one consumed
meat in the world. Yeah.
But you got to see all of that in real time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And understand that people who have different upbringings or cultures are in different economic brackets are just as deserving as whatever we have as, what we might root ourselves in as American, right?
Right.
And that was instilled in me from a young age. And I think that was part of the reason that I never felt shame working 6 jobs. I would have been ashamed if I didn't do everything in my power to take care of my children. That would have brought me shame. But whatever the role was, I was delivering produce to people's houses, right? I was working at preschools. I did story time at a local bookstore. I was a TaskRabbit. And do you know TaskRabbit?
No, but I just seen all those rabbits of the video that's outside.
And moms would have me come build furniture or like do tasks in their homes that they just couldn't do or didn't want done.
You would be the best TaskRabbit. I'd be like, Maura, come over. Task. Come on, hop,
the
hop.
nails are going to tell you, right?
Hoppy hop.
But that's, yes. And so literally anything that would legally pay me money, I did it. I door dashed. I did everything. I think I worked really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a huge part of it. I would be remiss if I did not mention the fact that when I was working 6 jobs, my highest paid salary was $9 an hour. Do you know how much a babysitter costs for 2 kids? Low end $15
I was going
an
to say
hour.
at least 15, and that's if you got like the sis that's in from college or, like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there are people out there who are applying for jobs and getting jobs,
mm-hmm.
but they can't accept them because they'll make less money than their childcare would cost.
Right.
My mother flew from Albany, New York, down here to Charlotte, and lived with me and provided free childcare so I could work.
What a blessing. Not everyone has that opportunity.
Not everybody has that,
mm-hmm.
And I live down here. You, Karen, Megan, Lauren, right? Our girlfriends, my friend Ashley, they're our family. But we can't, you all do incredible. And I would not have survived without these women in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I would not have survived without my mother giving up her entire life. My mother, who has fibromyalgia
mm-hmm.
and is in constant pain, coming down here, and at the time my boys were 3 and 4 years old. And she took care of them. My friend Kelly babysat for a while before my mom moved down for free also. And every once in a while I'm like, oh, you know what? I should just like send her a gift card too. I should. That's me being a bad friend. Like a gift card, even though, years later, but to say, you carried me through this.
That I'm not ungrateful for the time and energy that you had invested in me.
Right.
So now you're at JLL, you're leading like a boss. How do you show up every day and lead with purpose? Because it goes back to even that sign, though. I think it's very purposeful. Don't open your mouth unless you have, intentional things to say.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you carrying that every single day in what I would say is a very male-dominant role of industry?
Very male-dominant industry, because I'm in facilities management. So it is everything you need to take care of a facility. Your engineer, HVAC, electricians, plumbers, janitorial, security. And where I sit, though, in training, right? I went from teaching kids from preschool and working with teachers to now training adults. There is a largely female team, specifically where I sit. But my one guiding principle is the golden rule. How would I want someone to treat me? How do I want to be treated? Mm-hmm. And anything less than that,
why do we have to go back to like the basics? Like, why are the basics still so unlearned?
Because it's hard.
I guess in moments it really can be, but I feel like I know a lot of people that do unto others as you would want done to you mm-hmm. is just literally not even a method of their thought process.
Right.
And it's like, how hard was it just to open the door that the lady had 17 bags? And right. It's, to me, and again, no judging, right? Because your experiences are not my experience. But I'm just like...
Judge everybody.
You couldn't hold the door? Like, I would have not even flinched to know that I had to hold the door.
Right.
It wouldn't even be like, let me hold the door. It's literally innate in me to just hold the door.
Yes.
Automatic. Some people are just like...
Some people are only going to see that 9.
The dang 9.
Mm-hmm.
Which side are we on?
I
There's a
think
5 or an 8 behind me. I need to
Right?
know what direction we're
I have no
going.
idea.
Are we climbing up or are we going down?
Every single day.
I'm literally going to be dreaming about 69 all night.
You are. You're welcome.
Oh, Lord. Okay. So the basic golden rule, that's lead with purpose. That's your number one. Like that seems to set the tone.
I always assume positive intent.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I think someone is doing something performative,
Mm-hmm.
or I think they're doing it maliciously, I take a step back and I say, assume positive intent. My reaction, even though internally I might be screaming at you that you cut me off and now I can't turn out of my neighborhood, and how did you not notice 6 cars waiting to take a left turn, right? My brain
Line
goes,
cutters.
my brain goes, take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
When have you done that? I'm like, when my kids are arguing in the back seat and I'm not aware that there's a street on the left-hand side, I'm like, it's probably just a mom.
Right.
Breathe.
Right. Take a step back.
Don't cuss in the car in front of your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Take a step back. And that's like my wait moment, right? Assume positive intent. This person would have stopped if her kids weren't opening their lunch boxes and throwing goldfish crackers at each other
And she's probably
in the
like,
back seat. Yeah, and she's losing her mind. And now she's sitting there also thinking how angry she is that she became a jerk to other people because she wasn't paying attention because of this other thing going on.
Right.
So
assume positive intent.
Yeah.
Okay, well, really quickly, since again she is sexy and single. Do Shana Lashay dating show.
I want it.
No, give me some feedback on modern day dating, and I understand, especially the pickiness of time, right? Intent. So there's not going to be a lot of that because I personally know you and I know. But the dating world out here, because it's real and a lot of people are single and a lot of apps.
There are a lot more women looking in Charlotte than men. I haven't been on dating apps in a while because I think it encourages people to just consistently look for the greener grass rather than build real connection.
Baby, if you don't stop watering the grass that you got, water your own grass.
Right?
I love that.
And that's been my focus.
Well, there's not going to be an app needed because I think this is another portfolio of platform. You never know.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. No more dating apps because it's just going to come through this. No, I'm so grateful for you. To close it out, do you have any encouragement to anyone out there that's going through those times where you were when I first met you, to knowing how you've blossomed and truly came out of your cocoon, to somebody that just, it's really dark?
Lean on the people in your life. That's it.
Ask for help when you
Ask
need it.
for help.
And don't be timid about it.
Do not feel ashamed. If you are not fortunate enough to have people in your life who can support you, like I am, people who will buy the pizza at the pool or watch my kids, there are resources that exist. And if your situation is very dire, there are a lot of resources to help get you out, like the Charlotte Women's Center.
Girl time.
DoorDash time.
DoorDash.
Restaurant time.
Yes. Dinner.